What's the word, Cosmic Family? What's the word, y'all? Hey, look, man. I just learned that it's just some things that you have to accept, right? Life itself is a contract. People are contracts. Everything in life is a contract. Even the car that you have is a contract. The relationships, of course, are contracts, right? And we have to understand, man, that when we get into a relationship with somebody, we have to understand that it's just some things that we cannot change about that person. You know, I recall myself, reciting the Lord's Prayer and shit. God, I ask, may you please grant me the serenity to accept things that I cannot change. The serenity to accept things that you cannot change, as in how certain contracts and shit like that operate. You can't change certain things about a job, like the pay, some of the rules. You can't change certain things about your car payment and about how much you'll be paying monthly and shit like that. You can't change certain things about the house lease and shit like that, and you probably can't change a lot of shit about taxes, right? So for real, I think it's more so I think it's more so just understanding, man, that let us have the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, right? It's some things that we can't change, right? We can change certain things, but it says that we have to have the courage to change those things. Courage. Sometimes it takes courage to, do a little bit more so you can change it, right? And this goes for all types of relationships. This goes for, all types of relationships, houses, right? You could do a little bit more to pay off the house. You could do a little bit more to pay off the car, right? You could do a little bit more to, make more money at your job, right? These contracts, right? But again, we have to have courage, because people fail to believe that God don't just give us what we want. We have to work for this shit. We have to work for certain things. God don't just deliver us what we want to on a fucking, on a silver plate with silver spoons and forks and shit. God don't operate like that. So when we do hear a verse like the Lord's Prayer and how he's saying have courage, it's not just the simple act of just, changing the things and shit like that. It's having courage, having heart to be able to actually do it, to go forth through it, right? So, yeah. And then it also says, God, please grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. In the last verse, it said, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? We have to have wisdom in order to know the difference on what we can change and what we can't change. This is, again, doing something with contracts, right? You can't change certain contracts, right? Some things you have to, accept, and some things you have to have courage to change. And then, of course, it's knowing the difference between those two, accepting and changing it. Because sometimes, man, we try to change things that we can't change, and we see ourselves fighting against it because we can't change it. No matter how hard we work in a relationship, no matter how hard we fight in a friendship, or how hard we, show up for the job and shit like that, right? Some things just can't be changed. And I'm starting to understand that shit, man. It's like, it's a wisdom in it. right? And I'm accepting that, man. It's one thing with my job. It's one thing with my relationships. It's one thing with even myself that I can't change. Where I have to be able to accept it. Right? It's something with everybody that they can't change, but they have to accept. And then you have some people lacking wisdom on the things that they can change and the things that they have to accept. Some people are trying to change the things that they are meant to accept, and they see themselves going down the wrong path, falling along the wrong friend group, you know, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So yeah, man, the Lord's Prayer and how it talks about contracts, because this is just a little, you know, little thought exercise that I just had, you know, just walking, you know, talking about relationships, talking about the jobs and shit, you know, and just walking and talking, you know. The brain loves creating problems. And I be having to tell the brain, like, damn, brain, you gotta accept this. Or you have to have the courage to change it. And you have to have the wisdom to know the difference. You have to do three things. Accept it, change it, and know the difference. Right? But no, man. Y'all be at peace, though. I say.